نستعينه ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Alhamdulillah, today is the day. This is the day that we're going to deal with Ajrumiyah from the beginning to the end, not all in one lesson, but we're not going to stop until we knock it out, just like we did master letters, okay? I want you to take your books out. I want you to write down what you need to write down in following this text, and I want you to make sure you have questions, and I want you to memorize. We covered everything that someone needs to know as a pre-Ajrumiyah class. And so now at this stage, you all should be at the stage to step it up and memorize. What is the tiring thing about us American people is that we don't memorize, okay? We constantly, study these things and we don't get it. We're not going to ever get it unless you memorize the text, okay? What was good for them is good for us. What changed them is going to change us. Everything else is just, wasting time, okay? And we're going to lose the next generation that comes afterwards. When I went and studied this text, Al-Ajrummiyah, first person to teach me this, I'm narrating this from a man, his name was Hassan As-Somali from Oklahoma. Not Hassan As-Somali al-Ma'ruf, I think he's in Jersey or something like that, or in Canada. But this person's name is Hassan, he's from Somali, he was in Oklahoma. He was the first person to teach me Al-Ajrummiyah, the Nas. And we used to study it with Umar al-Qur'an, another person from Senegal. And this person, he won the contest in Kuwait for Qira'atul Qur'an, okay? And his family were reciting and teachers of Quran in Senegal for the last 200 years. Every man, woman, and child have been not only Hafiz of Quran, but teachers of the Quran for the last 200 years. This was 15 years ago, okay, when I met with him. Then I went to Mauritania and I sat with Sheikh Muhammad Salim Ud Addud al-Shanqiti. He's well known as Al-Addud. And Addud is an Ibara expression when they say Abdul Wadud. Okay? Instead of saying Abdul Wadud, they say Addud. And he is the oldest Shanqiti left alive, and he is the most knowledgeable of all the Shanqiti that are left there. Okay? Not just there, anywhere in the world. It's his sons and nephews, the ones that are in Saudi and the like. Not only that, when I went there, I studied with Akhu Sheikh, the Sheikh's brother. And he's passed away, rahimahullah. And he is the first person that I studied the text that I'm going to teach you all today. And just to give you an example, this is the legacy of Abu Tawbah, so to speak. This is the thing that I pass down from me to my children, and hopefully from me to you, and you to your children, and to anyone that you meet. Al-Ajrummiyah as a form of Ubaydu Rabbi. It's a very important text. I don't know any scholar in Islam that has not studied the text Al-Ajrummiyah. It is very serious. The word Al-Ajrummiyah means the poor Sufi. It is a Berber word coming from Jazaira that means the poor Sufi. So we find that this guy, he was a Sufi, okay? Or he was inclining to Tasawwuf. However, we still see Sheikh bin Baz, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, and other than them from the ulama of the Salaf, studying and teaching this text. That's one thing. The second thing, when I went to go study this text, I went to a valley in Mauritania on the road to Attar. It was called Wadi Naqa, the valley of the she-camels. And in this village was a whole bunch of camels. The male camels, they were only young, they were still tied to their mothers, meaning there were no bulls there, only young boys. They kept them at the house, And when I got there, Akhu Sheikh was sick. He was an old man, and they thought he was on his deathbed at that time. And he was still teaching. And that day, when I went to get my lesson from the Sheikh, there was a whole bunch of people crowding at his door, sitting down. They were pushed up at the door of his house, and he was sitting in the doorway, cross-legged, and his son had his hand on his back, and he was holding him up, holding his father up while he sat in the door, and he was crying. And his father was having problem breathing, and he was giving lessons, teaching. Al-Akhtari, Al-Risala. Then he knew I was there. Because when I came, I brought 50 kilos of rice and 50 kilos of sugar. You know, you got to bring, we're in the desert. We're not in the city. There's no store. You know, you make an order, somebody will get it for you tomorrow, you know, when they come back. And I brought that to give my portion to, because we eat together out there. And he had taken it and then given it back to me and said that, you know, that I was their guest, you know. So I gave it to the students. You know, they took it like that. So when he saw me, he made them to bring me forward, to come forward for me to get the lesson. And he said to me, this is my legacy. This is what usikum. This is what I'm passing down to you. Okay? And then he went on and he said, Innal kalama indana faltastami'. I had never heard this text before. You know, as he said, Innal kalam. The fact of the matter is that speech indana faltastami'. So listen up. And he was doing it as he was breathing. And he was kind of catch his breath. And he would catch his breath. And he would say some more. And everybody was listening. Because he's giving it to this guy. And we don't know if he's going to pass through this day. You know? We didn't know if he's going to pass through that day like that. And then he stopped. And he told me to come closer. When I came closer, he started the whole thing from the beginning. And so I say to you that I studied this text with Sheikh Muhammad Salim Ul Adud. I stayed in Mauritania for years, you know, over about 6 years. And I was there for 3 years straight. And then I would go and come back and go and come back. I sat with the Sheikh every day that I was there, except for on Fridays and Saturdays. Fridays and Saturdays where we didn't have class, or maybe sometimes when I went to the city to take care of some business. My tent was only one tent between my tent and his tent. And when we was houses, my house was the house behind his house. He made his daughter move out of her house, which was the house next to him, and he moved me and my family into that house. His aunt died. He moved me into his aunt's house, which was behind his house. The room that he used to teach from opened up to my door, to my house. And I would sit there and watch, and when I would come across in there, I heard him say this text every day the whole time I was there with different people that he was reciting it to. And when we thought that we knew what he was going to say, he would teach it to us in a different way that made us realize that we didn't know nothing what this guy knew. So this has become something that we can bring back to our people here if you would take it. It ain't something we don't try to give it to no clowns, and it's something to be taken serious. The text goes, قال ابن أبو واسمه محمد الله في كل الأمور أحمد مصليا على الرسول المنتقى وآله وصحبه ذوي التقى وبعد فالقصد بذا المنظوم تسهيل منثور ابن أجرومي لمن أراد حفظه وعصر عليه أن يحفظ ما قد نثر الله استعين في كل عمل إليه قصدي وعليه متكل. Akhu Sheikh, he died maybe like 2 years after that. He would never leave his house after that sickness, except people carried him. And they would only carry him from his house to the masjid, and they would put him on different pillows so he could spend some time with the brothers. But he would teach every time he wasn't too sick not to teach until he died. And there were particular things that we would study from him, like Al-Akhdari, little, to us, in the desert, that was a little thing. But come back here, you'd be a sheikh with that stuff. Okay? And if the sheikh wanted you to review something, he would send you over there, go over there, sit with them. Because mostly young boys was over there. The younger kids, so the grown-up men would go sit with the sheikh when they got to the level. So he says here, Qala ibn Abu wasmuhu Muhammadu Allah fi kulli umuri Ahmadu. In another narration, it says, Qala Ubaidu Rabbihi Muhammadu. So, Qala, he said. Follow me, say it. Qala, he said. Wasmuhu Muhammadu. Wasmuhu Muhammadu. So the person who's speaking, his name is what? Muhammad ibn Abu. His name is Muhammad ibn Abu. He's telling you who the speaker is. Qala ibn Abu wasmuhu Muhammadu. You understand that? Or he said, Qala Ubaydu Rabbihi Muhammadu. Ubaydu Rabbihi Muhammadu. The small slave of his Lord. The slave is Abd. But he said, Ubaydu Rabbihi, the small slave as well, tasghiran wa tawaddu'an, humilified, being humble to himself. Just a small slave. The text is known as Ubaydu Rabbi, the small slave of his Lord. Okay? Qala Ubaydu Rabbihi Muhammadu Allah. He says Allah. He starts this text with a powerful rule that if you understand it, you understand Allah. He said, Allah fi kulli al-umuri ahmadu. He said, Allah is maf'ulun bi, mutaqaddam. So there are three things you need to know at this stage. You have an actor, which is a fi'lun. What is a fi'lun? I mean, a fi'lun is an action. Okay? Then you have a fa'il, the actor. Then you have maf'ulun bi, the thing acted upon. When you say Ahmadullah, what are you saying? I praise who? Allah. So I is The here means ana. Okay? Ana, Ahmadu means praise, right? So ana Ahmadullah. I am praising. Who are you praising? Allah. So Allah carries a fatha because it is the recipient of the praise. Do you understand that? Now when you say Allah, when you put this Allah first, you've done what we call hasr. Everybody say that. Hasr means you surrounded the issue. You restricted the issue. What have you restricted? You restricted this praise or this action from being used or utilized or received by anything else than the first thing you mentioned. This in the language is called tawheed. To restrict and to isolate your action to Allah. Wahad Allah. You understand? So he said Allah, it's as if you said khubzan akeltu. Let's say bread I ate. If you said bread I ate, that means you didn't eat nothing else but you didn't eat bread and butter. You didn't drink water. You didn't have toast. You had khubzan akeltu. You understand that? So when you say Allah fi kulli al-umuri ahmadu, that means only Allah in every one of my affairs do I praise. You say that same thing when you say Bismillah. Ba. It means utilizing. The ba comes from the term utilizing. Not with like we say or in. Utilization. ذهب الله بنورهم. Allah left بنورهم and he took their nur with them. Right? With him. Right? كتبت بالتباشير. I'm writing with the tabashir, with the chalk. Right? Or كتبت بالقلم. I'm writing with, utilizing the pen. Right? So Bismillah, what do you mean by this? Utilizing the ism, the name of Allah. Is that a complete sentence? Yes. No. Utilizing the name of Allah what? There is a taqdeeru kalam. Kalamuna is either going to be lafdan or? No. Taqdeeran. It's either literal or it's implied. Can you hear me? Yes. Your implied answer is yes, I can hear you. But you didn't say I can hear you. That was implied. Taqdeeran. So there's an implied speech when you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Because Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, these are just wasfani. These are just sifa for this. It's just describing Allah. Okay? So the term utilizing the name of Allah, who is the most gracious, the most merciful, if you want to use those terms, what? The implied speech is I begin, or I'm doing whatever action that you're going to begin. Now you put that after you start with the name of Allah. You don't say, I begin to learn or do whatever I'm going to do with the name of Allah. You say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I begin. Why? Because by doing that, you have made tawheed in your statement. You have made hasr. You say the term? Hasr. Because you put the action after the thing that's being acted upon. Right? Utilizing the name of Allah, I'm doing this thing. That means I'm not doing this thing utilizing the name of anybody else. Does that make it clear? And this is something that if you say you Ahl al-Tawheed, you have to understand every time you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And if you don't, then this niyyah is naqis. Innamal a'mal bin niyyah. So if you don't have the intention of Tawheed, understanding how you're making Tawheed, your level and understanding of Tawheed is naqis, is deficient. You understand me? Does that make sense? I don't want to see clouds. Do y'all understand me? Yes. Can I go on? So now we learn this rule with this first line. That's how Ibn Abu starts his poem. By teaching us this rule that we can use every time. Because, you know, the Christians say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Spirit. So they say in the name of Allah, in the name of something else, in the name of something else. But with our statement, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Aqum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ajlis. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Aqul. I have made it clear, no, only with the name of Allah, utilizing the name of Allah. Okay? We cool? Do my board, babe. Come on, let's hurry up and take the whole thing off. So the first line says, قال ابن أب واسمه محمد الله في كل الأمور أحمد مصليا على الرسول المنتقى وآله وصحبه وذوي مصليا. Say it. مصليا. Yeah, you know the poem. Recite it. مصليا على رسول منتقى منتقى وآله وصحبه ذوي التقى. ذوي التقى. ذوي التقى. So he says here, مصليا على رسول منتقى. Here he says مصليا. كونه. How? He's not doing it every single time, but when he thinks about it, he's sending the salams, the salatu wa salam, ala rasul al-muntaqa. Al-muntaqa, ay al-mustafa. Here when we say al-muntaqa, naqiya, say that word, naqiya, is something that's pure, it's clean, right? So mustafa is something that's safiya, okay? Safiya. And from the word safiya, we get mustafa. Okay? We had the tal on a wazn istifal. Istif'ala. Okay? But because there's a sad right here, the ta is not going to come, a ta is not going to come after the sad. So we have to make it a ta. Okay? So anyway, here, the point is here, safiya. Everybody say safi. Safi is something that's pure too. So the pure prophet, what does it mean? The chosen one. When it says something is Mustafa, Mustafa means that that thing is chosen for a particular job and nothing else. Okay? And it is focused on nothing else. So when we say Mustafa, it means someone who is totally focused on what they were sent to do and they have no other objective. And they're no way distracted. Why? Because they weren't committed. They weren't created to be distracted. Does that make sense now? When we say the chosen one, he's chosen for a particular job, and not only chosen for that job, he can only do that job. He can't get distracted and do nothing else. That's what Mustafa is. Musalliyan ala, and musalliyan, the salah here is dua. What does salah mean? Wasalli alayhim. Right? Allah's the Messenger, Allah says in the Quran, Wasalli alayhim. He says, Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Zaki, tutahhiruhum wa tuzakkihim wa tusalli alayhim. Okay? He says, خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُكُمْ وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ بِهَا وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ. Allah says in the Quran, take from their wealth, sadaqah, right? To purify them, their action, and their cells. وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ. And offer salah for them? No, make dua for them. So here we use that word وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ to prove that musalliyan is making dua. For us to make dua for the Prophet ﷺ. Okay? And on the chosen one. وَآلِهِ. And on his companions. So some people didn't like that you could say Sallallahu ala Ibrahim. Can I say that? Can I say Sallallahu ala Ibrahim? No. Why not? Then he says وَآلِهِ. No, companions is here. Alihi is family. And وَصَحْ مَا قَالَ ذَلِكَ الشَّيْخ rahimahullah. And it's authentic what that man told me. He said, I'm on qawlana an Ahmed. He said that day when we're sitting in the doorway, he said, and our statement is from Ahmed, meaning Ahmed ibn Hanbal, that alihi means kullu man, everybody that follows him till yawmul nahada, to this day and to the last day. Alihi means everybody. And the Prophet ﷺ, in authentic hadith, he said, وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ آلِ بَنِي أَوْفٍ, or Bani Auf. In the authentic narration, the Prophet said that to Bani Auf. So we can say that. But the point that ulama make about that, with the condition that we don't do this all the time. It's not like we constantly make that type of thing. And that we do it as a dua. You understand what I mean? Not trying to replace the Prophet. As some of the Sufis do, they do that for their Sufi sheikh all the time. Okay? So, that's a point here that we have to make and understand, not to differentiate ourselves. What is alihi? Alihi, on a statement of Imam Ahmed, is everybody who believes in the Prophet Muhammad until the last day. Okay? And it's not restricted to Bani Hashim, as some people say. Is it right with me? Going along with sahbihi. This is the Jam'u Sahaba. And a Sahabi is anybody who met the Prophet ﷺ, believed in him, and died on that, even if he became a murtad before that and came back to Iman. Why? Why do we say that? See, this text is very important. You have to start understanding, because you're going to have to recite this, what was recited to you. Sahabi is anybody who met the Prophet ﷺ in his lifetime and believed in the Prophet while he was living. You understand? Even if that, and died on that Iman. Even if that person became a murtad. What is a murtad? He took away from Islam. And he apostated from Islam and said, no, now I'm kafir, I don't believe. And then he came back and said, no, I'm Muslim again. And then he died. Is he a Sahabi? Yes. What about the person who met the Prophet ﷺ, became apostate and then died? Is he Sahabi? No. So this is what happened during the fitna with Musaylima al-Kadhab. Musaylima the liar. A lot of Muslims became murtad. And they were following. They said that the liar from Bani Salama, I think it was, or Hanifa. Bani Hanifa is better to us than the truthful one from the Quraysh. And some of those people, once they came back to Islam, they're still considered Sahabi. Does everybody understand that? Then it says, Dhawit tuqa. Dhawit tuqa is just dhu taqwa, the ones who have taqwa. And we don't mean by this statement like the Rafidiyah and the Shia say. All this is dealing with our aqidah in this. Note that. The Rafidiyah and the Shia, they say some of the Sahaba have taqwa and others do not. When we say Dhawit tuqa, the one who possesses taqwa, we mean all of them and not some of them. Who do we mean? All of them and not some of them. That's the statement. We mean all of them and not some of them. Because any other statement is a statement of Shia. Because they say Abu Bakr ain't no good. They say Abu Hurairah ain't no good. They say that Aisha is a heifer. They start talking like that type of stuff like that. A'udhu billah min dhalik. So this is our statement. Dhawit tuqa, the ones that possess taqwa, who are they? Who are they though? It's a statement that you don't take a breath at. We mean all of them and not some of them. Who are they? That's how we say that. Okay? We say it that way. This text is to be passed down. I said when we started, I said this is the legacy of Abu Tawbah. It ain't for me to say anything except that was passed down to me in this text. It ain't for you to say anything else unless we find a mistake and we can establish that mistake. You understand that? So then it's an unbroken way as we go through it. Hit the board for me. This is the easy part because we haven't gotten to the work yet. قال ابن أب واسمه محمد الله في كل الأمور أحمد مصليا على الرسول المنتقى وآله وصحبه ذوي التقى فبعد فالقصد بذا المنظوم تسهيل منثور ابن وبعد فالقصد بذا عفوا بذا المنظوم تسهيل منثور ابن أجرومي. Okay, so here we say وبعد, say it. فالقصد بذل منظوم تسهيل منثور ابن, but here you go منثور ابن جرومي. Okay, here we go again. He says وبعد. Here وبعد is the shortened version of what? أما بعد. وقيل أن داود was the first one to say it. And it's said that Dawood was the first one to use that because it says he was given Fasl al-Khitab, right? And this is Fasl al-Khitab. After you started praising, began with the Basmalah, and then you started the praise of Allah and sent blessings on the Prophet, and you finished that, now you're going to start talking about something else. That's called the Fasl. You use Amma Ba'du. However, it's not true that Dawood was the first to do it because Dawood was not an Arab and he didn't speak Arabic. So we kill that speech. But we mention it there. That it's said, and note that whenever you hear a speech that starts off with qila, it points to what? Weakness. Weakness. Because that shows no isnad. It's an isnad of them. They say. It's said. And we don't use that isnad. We need qala, sami'tu, haddathana, wa anba'ana, wa ba'da an anba'ana, tabassama. So here, wa ba'du, fal-qastu, so the objective, the qastu, the objective, bidha, with that, mandhumi. Now here he's using the scale of maf'ul. Everybody see the scale? Maf'ul? Maf'ul, which means the object of the verb. Mandhum is a nadham. Everybody say nadham. And it is words that rhyme. Nathar, say nathar, is words that is prose, regular speech. So a mandhum is the paper that the nadham is written on. He says, so after this, so the objective with this paper. That's basically what he's saying. And what is this paper? This paper is a rhyme that has this rhyme on it. He's putting it. It's tasheel. You have the word sahala yusahhilu tasheelan. Sahala is to make something easy. Just like you say allama, say that word. Yu'allimu ta'liman. Now you say jawwada, yujawwidu tajweedan. Wahada, yuwahhidu tawheedan. So sahala, yusahhilu tasheelan. You understand how it goes? So when you isolate something, the act of isolating that thing is called tawheed. When you do something good, the act of doing that thing good is called tajweed. When you learn something and you teach it, the act of teaching is called ta'aleem. So when you make something easy, the act of making it easy is called what? Tasheel. So he said the objective with this piece of paper is to make easy the manthur, the piece of paper that has pros on it, that has the regular speech of Ibn Ajrumi on it. And the regular speech of Ibn Ajrumi is الكلام هو لفظ مركب مفيد بالوضع وأقسامه ثلاثة اسم وفعل وحرف جاء للمعنى وأقسامه. Now, هذا is hard to memorize that and keep it. You have to memorize, but you can't keep. But you can say إن الكلام عندنا تستمع لفظ مركب مفيد قد وضع أقسامه التي عليها يبنى اسم وفعل ثم حرف معنى. And you get the rhythm of it. So it's making easy the written work of Ibn Ajrumiyah. Okay? Take it down. That's all that is right there. No, you'll get it. Don't worry about it. Listen first. I think it's, with Sheikh Muhammad Salam, Hafidhullah, a lot of times he wouldn't let people write stuff down. Why? Because it makes you lose your brain. You stop using your brain to remember. Think about it like this. You may never get to hear it again. Okay? Your dhuruf may change. He said in one time, لكن شغل البال بالأعمال وعدم استقرار في الأحوال عدا عن امتثال مما نشر وحسب ثمدا أن يرشها. He said, however, being unstable in my affairs and my mind being busy what's going on keeps me from doing certain things. Okay? Likewise, if you pay attention, you may never ever get to hear this again. So pay attention and you'll never need to hear it again. Have that type of emergency in your head. And if you take it, and what we used to do is he would learn it, and then he would go to him, and we recite it to him, and he would recite it back to him, and then they recite it to him, and he would listen to him, say, no, you forgot this, and then they go back, and then they come back to the teacher, and then recite it, and he give it to them all different ways again. Okay? But in the day, you recited it 5 times to 5 different teachers before you went to the sheikh. And he told you everything they told you and more. Or he didn't say nothing they said and still said more. So you got to get used to regurgitation. It's not a thing where you just learn this thing. You got to learn it and give it away. So it says, liman arada, say it. Arada hifdhahu wa asura alayhi an yahfadha ما قد نثر. So he said, لمن أراد حفظه وعسر عليه أن يحفظ ما قد نثر. He says, for the one who desired or who wanted to memorize it, meaning the work of Ibn Ajrumi, wa asura, and it became difficult upon him, that he could memorize what was written in the prose. Or it says, it became difficult on him, then you come to another line, it's upon him to preserve what was written in that prose. So it's a play with words both ways. Okay? Meaning you have to memorize it and you have to preserve it. How are you going to preserve it? Do it this tasheel. Okay? So this poem is particularly written for those people who find it difficult to memorize. Okay? Every line is the same. When it says asura, then it's nathura. The first line, قال ابن أبو واسمه محمد الله في كل الأمور أحمد مصليا على رسول المنتقى وآله وصحبه ذوي التقى وبعد فالقصد بذا المنظوم تسهيل منثور بن جرومي لمن أراد حفظه وعسر عليه أن يفض ما قد نثر. It's called a himar, a jackass. Anybody can pull it. Anybody can pull it. ما قد نثر. Okay? ما قد نثر. Erase the board, please. Easy line. Yo. Shukran. Oh, you got me that? Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feekum. Allah asta'inu. Allah استعينوا في كل عمل إليه قصدي وعليه متكل. Okay, another person I just forgot. I learned this text also from Ustad Muhammad Ul-Eid, okay, Ash-Shanqiti, before I even learned it from Sheikh Muhammad Salam. He prepared me. You know, studying with teachers is sometimes better than studying with shuyukh. You go to your teacher, they break it down to you, they give you all the secrets and everything. Then when you go to the sheikh, he gives you so much more differences, but you only can appreciate that because you got it from the teacher first, you know? So get good teachers. That's why they say, go study this with an ustadun mutqin, a meticulous teacher. Unclick your fingers, okay? So I don't want to lose Sheikh Ustad Muhammad Ul-Eid. And who is Ustad Muhammad Ul-Eid according to the Mauritanians? He's a Mauritanian. This young man, as a boy, you know, Mauritanians are known for their lugha. They had a yearly competition. He won as a child against all the other Mauritanians as being the best in the lugha as a child. Now, when you win best in the lugha in the United States or something like that, that's great, right? Wow, big ups, you know. But now you win in a place like Mauritania, subhanAllah. You know what I'm saying? And they really hooked him up, sent him to the Emirates and different places like that. But here goes a guy, you know, who's real laid back. Real laid back. Have stuff like this in the back of his head. You know? So we need to raise our children like that, inshallah ta'ala. Sahafidhullah. So he says, Allah hasta'inu. Allah hasta'inu. Here again we have, what is the rule called here? Hasr. Right? So we started because it's supposed to be asta'inullah, right? Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka. That's hasr also, because you're saying iyaka. Oh, you, Allah, right? Iyaka is you. Iyaka na'budu. What's supposed to be na'budu iyaka. But you're saying iyaka na'budu. So you've restricted your worship for anyone besides iyak, who you intended there. Allah. Wa iyaka nasta'in. And if you intended Allah, it's as if you said, Allah hasta'inu. And ista'ana, here's this word, ista'ana. If we remember from our lessons of the letters of ziyada, what do we have here? We have ista, right? We have alif, sin, and ta, right? Then we have ayn, ya, and noon. But really, this is a weak letter right here, right? And whenever a weak letter comes, we know we can change it to either one of these three. Alif, waw, ya, right? So he says, aun. Allah fi aun al-abd mazal fi aun akhihi. He's in the aid and help of his brother, right? We say, Allah says in the Quran, ta'awanu. Ta'awanu. Here it goes. Ta'awanu. Same word. Ta'awanu ala al-birri wa taqwa wa la ta'awanu ala al-ithmi wal-udwan wa taqillah. Okay? So here we have this word. Aunu wa'in. So ista'ana is to have right here to seek the aid. Ista in front of a word is to seek. What happens if you want the ghafar of Allah? What do you say? Astaghfirullah. For you're seeking the ghafar of Allah. For huwa ghafurur rahim. For if you want the aun of Allah, iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Right? So Allah asta'inu. You can say Allah asta'inu, but here is a rule that we learned now. Here we learned that in Arabic, you don't have to put two fathahs next to each other if they come right next to each other in different words. Okay? You don't have to say Allah asta'inu. You can say Allah asta'inu. You understand that? And you find that in the Quran also when it says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ, as opposed to إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ. You see that? أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ. And in Warsh it says أَنذَرْتَهُمْ. Because the rule is, because you have two fathahs next to each other, you don't need to put two fathahs. You can just put أَنذَرْتَهُمْ. Or as Haf and Asim says, أَنذَرْتَهُمْ. You hear that? And these differences come because of their understanding of the language. Each one of the Qur'an were experts in the language. And so you see the differences in the Qur'an, some of it based on lugha. You follow me? Did I bore you? This is the subject that is the meat and potato, not the meat. This is the salt and the vinegar of food. This is the argument of the fuqaha. Nahwu wa sarf. It's the argument of the fuqaha. So you best, if you want to do anything in Islam, you better learn this. And any problems you have, you get it out now, so we can deal with it. So, Allah asta'inu fi kulli amal, fi kulli amal. In every one of my actions, I seek the help of Allah in that. Okay? Or I seek the help of Allah in every one of my actions. Ilayhi qasti. To Him is the objective that I'm traveling to. Qasti niyati. And qast here is direction. That's the direction I'm going. I'm going towards Allah. That's deep speech right here. Wa alayhi, and upon Him, muttakilun. I'm leaning on and trusting on. This word again, we learned this word when I wrote it. I remember Sheikh Ustad Muhammad Eid, because he taught me this word right here. We say muttakilun. What's the root word? Wakala. Where do you find that it's wakala from? It says ta. No, it's a tawkil. No, it's on the scale of this. If ta'ala. What did I say? If ta'ala. Remember, before when our lessons of bina, I said our verbs have many different forms. Fa'ala yaf'alu, right? Yaf'ulu. Then it has if'ala, af'ala. Then you have fa'ilu, tafa'ala. Then you have ifta'ala, infa'ala, and these type of things. Ifta'ala is the scale. So if you write a word, like the fa of the letters, the waw, the ain is the kaf, the lam is the lam. So it will be iltakalu. Right? But the Arabs don't write like that. Whenever there's a waw as the first of the fa of the letter, and there's a ta like that, they break the waw down and they make it a ta mushaddid. Ittakala. You understand that? I'll say it again. This is Arabic. We're breaking it down. Whenever mu in front of a word means what? Hesitation kills. One who. What is me in front of a word? What is me in front of a word? What is that thing you use in your mouth? It's a utensil. Me in front of your word is a utensil. What's ma in front of a word? A place. What are we in? Masjid, a place of sajda. Right? So mu in front of the word is what? One who possesses the quality of the rest of the verb, right? The word is takala. There is no root for takala, but it has mushadda. So it's ta, and then kaf, lam, right? So what does this represent? It represents the scale of ifta'ala. Every verb has a scale. The scale of this verb is ifta'ala, meaning it's obeying a verb. Okay? It's obeying an action. That's a little bit something different. So, here we put the waw is the fa of the kalima, the kaf is the ain, and the lam. But here's the ta. The Arabs don't write like that though. They don't have al-takala. Whenever you have waw as the fa of the letter, and you want to put it on the scale of ifta'ala, you break that waw down and you make it a ta mushaddada. Okay? And it becomes ittakala. Okay? It becomes ittakala. For example, wasala. What do you say when you somebody to call you? You say ittasal bi. Right? You say ittasal. Ittasal bi. Right? From wasala. The root word is wasala with the ta right there. So what happened? This was gone, and then mushaddad, ittasala. You follow me? Every word that starts with waw like that. And we can memorize them. If we do the lamin, minis, ma'waghirta, wahurta, nimba, ista, ya'ista, ulih, warith, yahila. Waritha. Waritha, yarithu. Okay? Waritha, yarithu. So even here you say yarithu. Wathiqa, yathiqu, wathiqa. Okay? These are the words. So this comes out. When you do it, you say yathiqu. I'm sorry. Yathiqu. See the wow's gone? Yathiqu, yarithu. It's gone. And the ashos there. That wow ain't staying there in these words. Not in Arabic. You follow me? I don't think so. Let's go back. Let me give it to you one more time. Look, wow, when it comes, first of all, look, an Arabic word is fa'ala. Everybody say fa'ala. Fa'ala. The first letter in the word is going to be fa. In the root word we're talking about. The second letter is ayn. The third letter is lam. That's in the root word. Remember we started off, we did the huruf, and he said the letters of ziyada. The letters of ziyada, anything extra that come on this root. Right? And I said sa'altumuniha. I said if you want to know what they are, sa'altumuniha. They are the letters of sa'altumuniha or al-yawmu nasituha. Okay? The alif, wa sin, wa hamza, wa lam, wa ta, wa mim, wa wow, and all these, those are extra letters. Like the sin, ta, alif here. Those are letters of ziyada. If I put ghafara, we say astaghfira. If I put awana, we put asta'inu. Right? Here, we put a word ifta'ala. Ifta'ala. Allah qarraba Allahu sa'a. What did the sa'a do? Iqtaraba. Iqtaraba. See what it did? Same thing. Qarraba Allahu sa'a. Allah told the sa'a, iqtarab. Get close. What's the hour? The hour that we're going to, everything's going to come in a different way. So Allah brought the hour close. What did the hour do? The hour obeyed the order of Allah. فَاقْتَرَبَ اقْتَرَبَتِ السَّاعَةِ وَانْشَقَّ الْقَمَرِ. Allah ordered the earth, the qamar, break, فَانْشَقَّ الْقَمَرِ. So I said this verb, ifta'ala, obeys the order of something else. So when you see it, it's obeying something else that you're not spoken of. Muttakal is meaning that I am trusting in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I just wanted to not confuse you guys, but mention that this comes from the word wakala. Okay? And that the wow is there, is gone, because the ta is there, because it's on the scale of ifta'ala. Okay? And that in the scale of ifta'ala, if the wow is the fa of the letter, we do not put the wow there, we add an extra ta. And it becomes itta'ala. Itta'ala. Okay? And so that's why we have ittakala. I hope that answers your question. I hope that makes it kind of clear. That's the end of it right here. Do you have any questions? The line is Allah asta'inu fi kulli amal ilayhi qasdi wa alayhi muttakal. Okay? Do you have any questions at this time? This is the introduction. It's going to get easier. You can record it. I'm going to record it for everybody, and you can listen to it and practice it. You have to memorize it. I'm going to call on you to memorize it. I don't want to kick you out the class if you don't memorize it. But, I will want to. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم